Hello my fellow gnomes, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing something a little bit different. The game you just saw was created not in Roblox like most of my creations, but with something new called Core. So what is Core? Well, Core is a pretty new platform that's come out that allows you to both play and create games, a bit like Roblox. It's basically another of these metaverse things, as everybody seems to be calling it. Now, you may well have already heard the name thrown around, and it's got a lot of people talking. But if you're anything like me, all you really know is it's a bit like Roblox, but they took out the Lego characters and added Fortnite ones instead. Yes, I'm not the first person to make that joke. Well, actually, it turns out there's quite a few surprises in store. But before we get into that, I would like to thank Manticore Games for sponsoring this video and giving us the opportunity to check it out together. And what better way to do that than to make a game?
Huh?
Oh wait, how do I use Core? Obviously, I was going to do a bit of homework first, but they have plenty of guides, tutorials, resources, all that good stuff available, and there's even a section for those coming from other platforms such as Roblox. The good news is that the learning curve shouldn't actually be too steep at all. Core used the Lua programming language, just like Roblox, so in theory all you need to do is adjust to the different API, and away you go. At least, that's what I was hoping for. But is it really that easy to start developing on Core, especially as a Roblox developer? Well, let's put it to the test. I'm giving myself the challenge of completing a short game within just 1 week, and seeing as it's that time of year, it will also have to be a Spooky Month edition, otherwise known as making a game for Halloween. This is what I made on the first day, just to sort of familiarize myself with the editor environment. You can see my building leaves something to be desired, but I was just playing about with a few textures and stuff, and I also changed up the lighting and so on. I was just getting used to adding some of the 3D objects. We've got a massive supply of templates, you can see from the core content. We've got 3D objects, plenty of assets we can pick from, just like the toolbox inside Roblox. But obviously the difference here is these are pretty quality models, and they're all made by Core, so we don't have to worry about any sort of dodgy models that other people might have made either. And I've also done a little bit of scripting, which you can see here. Wow, what a fascinating building. Ooh, I wonder what's inside. Ooh, what lovely wallpaper. It's a chest. I have to open this. Whoa! What did I just... Did those doors just shut? Spooky. Well, I've got the treasure. Let's go! What do you mean the door is locked? No! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Maybe if I shut this chest? Wahey! 10 out of 10 gameplay! Oh yeah, there's no automatic kill when you fall off the base plate. Help. 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 But no help came. Feeling somewhat uninspired by my own creation, I decided to take a look around and see what the rest of the community had to offer. Core actually has this custom launcher, so as soon as you open the application, you're taken to this hub world that you see here. This is a pretty cool way, I thought, of showcasing all the games. Although it does strike me as a bit odd that you actually have to load this area every single time. Even if you just want to open the editor to make your own game, you have to teleport into here first. Maybe there's a setting to disable this, but if there was, I didn't see it, so let me know. Anyway, let's talk about the games. So at the moment, Core is admittedly still pretty quiet in terms of player count, and it's obviously dwarfed by the vast millionaires logging into Roblox every day. But Core's only just got out of alpha, and as I make this video in October 2021, it's still in early access, so it's got a long way to go yet. I mean, just think of where Roblox was in 2007. Having a look around at some of the games, you can definitely see a strong Roblox-shaped impression, shall we say, on some of the creations. And there's a few formats you'll definitely recognise, such as the old Zombie Tycoon, where you buy the bits, wait a bit, and then buy more bits. And there's even a few remakes like Death Run, where you run a bit, press the button, run a bit more. And even a Tower of Hell inspired hobby, where you run a bit, jump a bit, and die a lot. Now, I don't bring all these up just to paint the platform as some kind of weird Roblox graveyard. Far from it, actually. There's some really interesting creations that I've enjoyed playing on here, and while they might not quite have the thousands of concurrent players as Roblox, these games are getting a lot of attention. Island Survival Alpha currently has over 1 million plays on Core, and you can easily see why. It's a pretty nice survival multiplayer game. It's got fantastic out-of-the-box graphics that are just the default on Core, and it really looks great. I enjoyed this so much that I actually came back and played it quite a few times. Although it didn't matter how many times I played this golf game, I was still pretty terrible. You will notice that a lot of these games actually have monetization features available. They use credits that can be bought for in-game purchases, much like Roblox with its Robux. And the developers of these games are already making quite a bit of money from it too. So there's definitely some serious opportunity for devs who are looking to get into that. And this is really where things get interesting, because Core actually offers its creators an even 50-50 split of all the revenue that your game makes. This is obviously one of their biggest selling points to potential devs, and they're obviously trying to entice people away from Roblox and other platforms when you consider the fees that are involved there. Another thing that really stands out to me about Core is that they seem to be targeting a slightly older age group too. Probably around 12 and up, but certainly looking at more teens and adults, whereas Roblox has obviously put a lot of focus on the younger ages, and anyone that has played Roblox for any length of time is well aware of the heavy-handed moderation in place. Let's just take a look at some of the 2 rules quickly. You can see on Roblox you've got bans on even minor themes such as just holding hands or kissing, and obviously they're pretty strict on violence too. Now obviously you're not going to be making 18 plus games on Core, but there does seem to be considerable more freedom here. If you read through their code of conduct, you've got things saying like, violence in video games is as old as video games themselves, and profanity or vulgarity without context isn't tolerated. So again, it's by no means a free-for-all, but you've definitely got a little bit more leeway. Okay, so back to work, and I set about trying to make some kind of map for the game. I thought the initial test place did show some promise, so I was kind of inspired to make a haunted house. So I made this doorway, but that got me thinking, what makes a game spooky? Doors. They're pretty scary, right? I don't know, but we're going to add lots of them anyway. So then my haunted house became a haunted hotel corridor, and I actually started to think maybe we were onto something here. I wasn't entirely sure though how I wanted the camera to be positioned, but the cool thing with Core is you can just drag and drop different modules to suit your need, so I could play about with each of them and then settle on the first person, which really seemed to create that intimate, somebody could be watching me kind of feeling. Anyhow, that was one corridor done. Now it's time to duplicate a bunch of them and try to make this into a full level.
2 hours later.
So building the level probably did take me an hour or two, but the process was definitely made a lot easier by having access to all the ready-made assets. And when I was able to customize all of the textures, I didn't really feel like I was too limited for choice here either. So this is the end result I had. You can see I've lowered the lighting a little. You can walk around the place and even go into some of the rooms if you like, but it's not really that spooky yet. We'll clearly have to do a bit of work there. Also, you really don't want to look out the windows. I wonder what the view is like out of room 303. Oh no, I regret this. Do not look out there. No. Help, I'm stuck. No. Oh, it's a shame these windows aren't big enough so we could see out. I bet there's a great view out there. The view outside the building. Oh no. So if this is going to be a horror game, I think we need to have a bit more horror. Let's turn up the spook factor. So I added in some ambient sounds, and I really like how the lighting is visualized here. So you can see where the radius of each sound will travel, and I could layer a few different sounds throughout the building, aiming to get a sort of general spooky ambience throughout rather than just a single sound on its own. The lighting was also looking pretty lackluster too. So I added in some lights along with this very nice kitchen. See, who wouldn't want to stay at a lovely hotel like this? Come here for a gentle weekend break, listen to the hubbub of the kitchen in the background, Everything is fine. Whoa! Okay, that's a rubbish jump scare. I give it a mere 2.5 on the ghost scale. We can improve that. How about we make the lights flicker rather than go straight out? Also, we can maybe add some debris too. There we go. I give it a 6 out of 10 spooks. So at least we have a jump scare now. We can officially call it a horror game rather than just a walking simulator. We're getting somewhere. Wow, it's day 4 already. So we've got a bit of spook factor, but we haven't really given the player anything to do yet. To help with this, I added in some diary entries for the player to pick up. This will hopefully provide a bit of narrative to the game, giving it a story. And hey, no spoilers, you'll have to play this game yourself if you want to experience the amazing story I have created firsthand. We'll also lock all the doors so they can't see how every room is a dirty copy and paste job. And instead, we'll make them use keys to just unlock the doors we want them to. So that's some busy work for the players to do, but let's be honest here, my fellow gamers. We're often not the sharpest when we're playing games, and if you've ever seen me do my live streams, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So in order to help with this amnesia, and not the cool kind, I added in these little objectives UI, which will hopefully remind the player what to do constantly. Consider it an act of charity, my friends. And finally, to add in that bit more spook, I added a dialogue thing at the bottom of the screen. This will give the player a sort of monologue to react to events as they're happening. Now the player might actually resemble a person rather than just a floating head. So once I'd pieced all of that together, we have something that now sort of resembles an actual game. And not only that, but all done in about 4 days or so. Not bad going, not bad at all. So the game only takes around 5 minutes or so to play through. It is just a short story, and I don't want to spoil the whole thing right here. So if you do want to check out the game, I'll leave a link to it in the description and you can get yourself signed up on Core. Also, like a lot of my projects, I've left it open sourced, so you can hop in and look at my dodgy code and file structure for yourself. But in answer to our initial question, can Roblox developers make games in Core? Well, I think the answer is a resounding yes. Some of the differences do take a bit of getting used to, and it's not quite as fully fledged as some of its other competitors. But that said, I really think the platform does have a lot of potential here for both established developers maybe looking for new opportunities, or just new guys wanting to start out in the game dev world. What do you guys think? Will you be checking out Core? Let me know in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!